First contact, last warning. They arrived in silence. No warning, no diplomacy. One moment, Earth's skies were clear. The next, a vast alien fleet shimmered into orbit like a storm of metal gods. Broadcasts were hijacked worldwide. Every screen, every radio, every satellite fed a single message. The being that appeared was tall, blue-skinned, encased in shimmering black armor etched with alien runes. Its voice was smooth, yet cold. People of Earth, you stand at the threshold of galactic civilization. You will not be asked to join. You will submit. Resistance is not only futile, it is irrelevant. You are now property of the Thalzar Empire. In Geneva, the United Nations gathered in emergency session. The alien envoy arrived in a grav carriage flanked by armored soldiers, towering over the assembled humans. He didn't walk so much as glide, a constant sneer on his lips. I am Varlik of the Ascendant Bloodline, he announced, standing before world leaders. You will relinquish all planetary governance to Imperial Command. Your people will be cataloged, classified, and allocated according to value. Refusal means extermination. President Adebayo of Nigeria stood, calm and composed. We understand your demands, she said diplomatically. Earth needs time to assess. We request a 1-week interval to prepare for transition. Varlik's grin widened. As expected of primitives, grasping for time you do not possess. Very well. 7 solar cycles. Prepare your people. He left Earth the same way he came, arrogant and unchallenged. But he was wrong about one thing. Earth wasn't stalling out of fear. Earth was preparing for war. In bunkers beneath the Rockies and deep within Siberian data vaults, ancient Cold War bunkers came alive. Generals, scientists, and rogue AI programs blinked into existence. Across the globe, the great powers moved, not as nations but as a unified species. Operation Hellgate was initiated. The message spread like wildfire through encrypted networks. Adapt. Hack. Hijack. Strike. Capture transmission data was decrypted by AI in minutes. Enemy ship blueprints were already being modeled for weaknesses. Humanity's most brilliant minds weren't building defenses. They were building traps. A prototype railgun, hidden beneath the Nevada desert, came online. 6 days later, as Varlik's command cruiser passed over the Pacific to monitor transition progress, Earth responded. The railgun fired. A tungsten slug accelerated to Mach 25, tore through the alien cruiser like a bullet through wet paper. In a heartbeat, the vessel exploded into molten shrapnel. Across Earth, silence fell. Then came the cheers. From the depths of the Empire's arrogance, Earth had drawn first blood. Transmission from Earth to the Empire. We are not yours. We are not prey. Come again, and you'll learn what happens when you provoke a world that has nothing to lose and everything to fight for. The Empire strikes and stalls. They came fast. Less than 48 hours after the destruction of Varlik's cruiser, a full Thalzar war fleet jumped into soul space. 77 warships, including 3 planetary suppression dreadnoughts. Their orders were clear: subjugate Earth by any means necessary. The skies above Earth turned black as the fleet positioned itself over major population centers. The alien commander, High Strategos Kirill, issued one final transmission. Your defiance ends now. You had your warning. Your world will burn as an example to all. He was confident. Why wouldn't he be? No species had ever resisted a second wave. He didn't understand Earth. The first mistake the Empire made was assuming Earth would fight fair. The second was thinking they understood human war. As the dreadnoughts charged their plasma lances, Earth's skies lit up, not with surrender, but with resistance. Dozens of orbital mines detonated at once, scattering molten shrapnel across the Empire's vanguard. 3 destroyers were crippled before they even fired. In low orbit, swarms of AI-controlled drone fighters launched from converted satellites. They didn't engage conventionally. Instead, they latched onto the hulls of alien vessels like parasites, hacking into systems, overloading reactors, causing chain reactions of destruction. Down on the ground, Makeshift railguns hidden in skyscrapers opened fire, while civilian satellites, supposedly for weather, unleashed microwave EMP bursts that fried Thalzar, targeting arrays. Humanity had no capital ships, no real fleet. What it had was audacity and thousands of tricks. Strategos Kirill's frustration boiled. Deploy the null beam. Blind their sky. The null beam fired. Designed to disable electronics across a planet, it had subdued countless civilizations. But Earth's response was unexpected. The beam was caught, reflected back using a massive orbital mirror array the Empire hadn't even noticed. The pulse fried a third of the Thalzar's own fleet systems. Then Earth struck again. A wave of stealth missiles, cloaked in sensor-dead zones and launched from hidden silos in Antarctica, targeted the dreadnoughts. Dozens struck true, bypassing shields by riding the wake of the null beam itself. One dreadnought exploded in orbit, torn in half by a nuclear-tipped missile that shouldn't have existed under any known Earth treaty. In the command deck, Strategos Kirill watched in disbelief as flames filled his viewports. They hacked our shields. They anticipated the null beam. His aide looked pale. They're adapting mid-battle, rewriting their attack vectors in real time, using our own technology against us. They're primitives, Kirill hissed. No, sir, the aide whispered. They're predators. As the crippled fleet limped away, Earth stood scarred, but unbroken. For the first time in 1,000 years, an Imperial invasion had failed. In underground command bunkers, the leaders of Earth didn't celebrate. They planned. They reverse-engineered the captured tech. Started building, not for defense, for retaliation. Earth wasn't just fighting for survival anymore. Earth was learning how to win. Fear spreads among the stars. The Thalzar Empire tried to bury the defeat. They claimed it was a containment action, that Earth had been quarantined, pacified, and forgotten. But in the age of interstellar networks and black market comm buoys, silence speaks louder than propaganda. Footage leaked, grainy, shaky recordings pulled from stolen Thalzar databanks and sold on the galactic underground. They showed things the Empire had no explanation for. Human pilots in gravity-twisted exosuits boarding alien vessels with terrifying precision. Modified alien drones screaming Earth's defiant anthem as they plunged into hangars. Imperial war beasts lying dead beside shattered human helmets, and human flags raised above their corpses. Across the stars, enslaved worlds and vassal states, the unthinkable happened. Hope bloomed. Earth hadn't just survived, it had fought back, and won. On the jungle moon of Koresh, a mining colony populated by subjugated Ugral rebels, a slave girl stared at the holoscreen, tears in her eyes. Behind her, others gathered, whispering one word passed down from smugglers, Terra. In the tundra cities of Norsvel Prime, a resistance cell detonated a reactor beneath the Imperial quarter, their war cry echoing. For Earth, for freedom. In the darkened halls of the Empire's High Council, panic simmered behind closed doors. They were supposed to be contained, one noble hissed. Containment failed, replied another grimly. Now, the galaxy watches. They see that the Empire can bleed. Back on Earth, things move fast. Captured alien materials were no longer just curiosities. They were blueprints. Human engineers and scientists, working alongside defected alien prisoners and liberated AI, began building a fleet. Not a conventional one, a human fleet. Earth's new ships didn't follow standard design. They were jagged, asymmetric, unpredictable. Hulls forged from salvaged Imperial alloys, painted in defiance. Propulsion systems modified from Thalzar jump drives, but faster, dirtier, unstable, perfect for humans. Their flagship, Iron Will, a monstrous battleship shaped like a blade through space, powered by a hybrid Earth fusion core and alien slipstream crystal. The Empire, desperate to stop the spreading insurrection, sent their most feared enforcers, the Obsidian Guard. Elite, unyielding, legends of fear and fire. They entered Earth's orbit like shadows made flesh, silent and confident. They didn't leave. Using cloaked solar flares, Earth blinded their sensors. Ground-based rail lances speared their cruisers mid-descent. On the ground, shock troops armed with plasma-reinforced armor took the fight to them, room by room, blade by blade. The last Obsidian commander was captured alive. His execution was live-streamed to over 1,000 rebel systems. His helmet split open, his face contorted in disbelief as the Earth flag was burned into his chest plate. The message was clear: Earth wasn't the rebellion. Earth was the spark, and the Empire had just thrown it into dry grass. The Empire's last mistake. The Thalzar Empire had ruled for 10,000 years. They had crushed rebellions, annihilated species, and turned whole civilizations into ash. But they had never faced anything like Earth. And now they were afraid. The Emperor broke centuries of silence and delivered a galaxy-wide broadcast. His voice, usually calm and measured, trembled with barely restrained rage. Earth is a cancer. It defies order. It spreads chaos. It will be erased. His final command: deploy the Sun Eater, a weapon of legend, a stellar core devourer. Once unleashed, it would collapse Sol into a black hole, erasing Earth, its moon, and its defiant people in one cold breath. The Thalzar believed this was the end. It was their final mistake. As the Sun Eater approached, Earth's long-range arrays detected the anomaly. Panic flared for a moment. Then came focus. Within hours, Iron will launched from lunar dry dock, leading Earth's first interstellar assault fleet. 17 ships. Crude, aggressive, armed with hacked Thalzar weapons and human ingenuity. Their mission: intercept the Sun Eater before it reached Sol. They arrived in the dark between stars, engines burning hot. Against the backdrop of a dying sun, humanity made its stand. While the fleet engaged the Sun Eater's guardians, a stealth team infiltrated the device's core. Soldiers and scientists, half-trained, all furious. Fighting through corridors of anti-grav storms and autonomous death machines, they reached the control center. Instead of disabling it, they hijacked it. Back on Earth, engineers reprogrammed the Sun Eater's navigation using quantum relays. In the void, it shifted. It no longer pointed at Sol. It now faced Thalzar Prime, the Empire's throne world. The Emperor watched in disbelief as his own weapon bent to humanity's will. The Sun Eater arrived in system 2 days later. The Thalzar Defense Fleet, 50 warships strong, moved to intercept. They vanished in minutes, swallowed by the weapon they once commanded. Thalzar Prime's sun collapsed into a churning singularity. The capital world fell into chaos. Power grids failed. Communications died. And over it all, a final human transmission echoed through the ruins. You sent death to our home. We returned the favor. The galaxy erupted. Over 100 systems declared independence. Chains shattered. Flags burned. The myth of Thalzar invincibility obliterated in a single act of vengeance. Human-led coalitions swept through what remained of the Empire. Some worlds welcomed them with open arms. Others resisted, and were met with the fury Earth had perfected. On the steps of a shattered palace, the Emperor was dragged from his throne. He stared up at a Terran commander, a woman with a scarred face and eyes like frozen fire. He whispered, "Why? Why did you fight?" She leaned in. "Because you thought we wouldn't." The galaxy would never forget Earth. Not because they were the strongest, but because they were the first to make the Empire regret.